This the way God be working, bro. Hindsight being 2020, that was actually one of the things that saved my life, was me being on live. And it just destroyed that narrative that they had, that we were attempting to extort this gas station, basically saying we targeted this these poor Palestinian business owners, and we're trying to make them pay us for security. The media playing with my name. I'm coming out of court and they Ed Gallic right there, and they calling me a terrorist. So my mom got to watch that. My grandma watching my kids. And so for me, yeah, my thing is always like the community, man. Like we always getting the short stick, the short end of the stick. We always getting the least amount of the resources, and it's directly reflected because of our leadership. I'm not taking the position of going to war with the police. That's not what I'm here to do.
In 2022, you were wrongfully arrested for carrying an unconcealed weapon and inducing panic.
Yeah.
Is that what caused the standoff? Is that the same case?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Damn, what's this?
The Untouchables, baby.
Back for the first time, DJ Ken Duff. This is a Duff Effect. Man, I've been waiting on this shit for a little minute. You know, we've been trying to put it together. You know what I'm saying? We finally here. Chairman Fahiem, what's going on?
Peace, family. How you doing? I'm happy to be here too, bro.
What's up, bro, man? I'm happy you pulled up, bro.
I'm happy it's you too.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. For those that don't know, Chairman Fahiem is a community activist, community leader.
Yes, sir.
So like I said, I don't want to get too much to your story, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you got a lot. We got a lot to talk about today, a lot to cover. First of all, before we get started, you got something going on. You made an announcement with Positive Energy I seen on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Ghetto Therapy Safety Unit. Can you dive into that?
Yeah, so it's been some generations since Black leaders, specifically in Cleveland, Ohio, came together on the same front, unified. And so that's what we're pushing right now, is collaboration over competition. And that's a big thing for me this year and moving forward, is just really standing in unison with my brothers, like what we represent as Black men and communities, and then taking the power away from some of these institutions that, because they dangle a little bit of money in front of us, they think we off in a fight with each other. Right. It's like, no, forget the money. The money is secondary. First is the work. And so what are we all doing in our respective spaces where we can connect and have a bigger impact? And so that's what this movement is about. We titling it the solution, because it's straightforward and it's direct. Okay. You know, the solution ain't don't leave no room to speculate about what we here to do. So yeah, that's what we pushing. And shout out to my brothers, man, Sterling, my brother Kareem, my brother Walter Patton. This is going to be a powerful movement for the city of Cleveland. And I was going to make a post yesterday, and I was going to say, like, this is the most positive thing happening in Cleveland right now. And I stand on that. No,
it definitely is. It definitely is. Any kind of insight on, like, the first collaboration I guess I want to ask?
Absolutely. A lot of our time and intentions go to the youth. And so we're going to collaborate and do like a youth night. And it's going to encompass everything that each one of our organizations do. And the crazy part about it, the part about it that I don't want people to like bypass, yes, we are men. Yes, we are community leaders, but we're also facilitating our own businesses. So this is for businesses, for organizations collaborating, bringing our services together, bringing our network together. Right. I know our network is crazy. I know respectively each one of them, they bodies of work, they resume, the relationships, like bringing all that to the table.
Most definitely.
In one city and what the impact that could have. So yeah, for me, it was like, it was a no-brainer when we finally all got in the same room and got to talk. It was like, yeah, this the move right here.
I think the biggest thing to appeal from that is each one of y'all got your own story. You know what I'm saying? Like Walter Patton, I don't know him personally, but I know he has a story, a past. Sterling, I know him personally. Me and Sterling, man, we kind of grew up together though. I've been knowing Sterling since we was like 15, 16. Right. Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. So and then
good dude.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
That was the part for me. It's like, yeah, the work could be great work, but you as an individual, like the vessel that the creator got to work through. What's my connection to that?
Right.
And that was the thing that really, like, with Sterling, really, like, since day one, it's always been love, respect. Like, bro, what can we do together? How can I support what you got going on?
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. And actually, like I say, Sterling, he was on the Untouchable Billionaires the podcast that we had a couple years back. So for sure. Like I say, man, I and people can respect that. Kids, like you say, you work with the youth. kids in particular, because they want to see somebody that's going through, or that been through what they going
Absolutely.
through. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to y'all, man. I can't wait to see what y'all got coming up.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
So let's get into your upbringing. Government name Antoine, or is it Anton or Antoine?
Antoine.
Antoine Tolbert.
Yes, sir.
Chairman Fahiem, you were named that. Or was that name given to you?
Fahiem was given to me. Chairman is the title
Right.
that I bear within the organization.
Okay. The Fahiem, is that any association with the Nation of Islam
Yes,
at all?
sir.
Or?
It means knowledge and wisdom.
Okay.
So just characteristics that I had started displaying at a young age. And honestly, it started as a joke, right? Because I coming from that type of upbringing, that background, I'm still dealing with the social dynamics on the southeast side of Cleveland, and I still move with that type of militant energy. So it was like something that was to be made fun of at first. Like Minister Society, like Sharif, like we ain't trying to hear that. You know? So that's where that energy came from.
So who gave you that name?
Family.
Family there?
Yeah,
Okay.
from certain characteristics, like it means knowledge and wisdom. And so I'm assuming that I displayed those characteristics at a very young age.
So that was a nickname that they gave you. That wasn't like that you wasn't converted at all. Like,
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Describe your childhood and what kind of kid was you? Did you have both parents in the house?
Not my biological father, but I had my stepdad, who essentially was my real father.
Okay.
In regards to just structure in the household and male models, positive male modelship. My mother had 4 kids at 19, 4 different gentlemen, and 3 of the fathers were pretty much just non-existent.
Okay.
And so, yeah, just I fell in love with football, bro, at a very early age. That was my way out the neighborhood. That was the way for me to change my circumstances. And I actually was pretty good, man. Muni League, high school, all the way up to a Division II college scholarship. But I fell out of love with the game of football, and then I had my first child, and so I had to.
At what age?
19.
Okay.
So I had to assume that responsibility, get my first real job, paying bills, and trying to take care of the household. And then I always had this. I don't want to get too far ahead because you asked me about my childhood.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And so but I'll speak to this like my specifically about my childhood. We kind of always lived in the same neighborhood. So from Kinsman over to Woodland was pretty much where we moved back and forth in between. But I went to middle school on the west side, Gary Morgan. So I went to a blue ribbon school. I did a little bit above average academically in school.
So is that how you ended up on the west side?
Yep, that's how I ended up on the west side. And so I got to dive into a little bit of a different culture on the west side, because the people I were going to school with, the kids I was going to school with were like Indian, Asian kids, like
the west side is like a melting pot.
A melting pot. And then too, I'm going to school with kids that are solely focused on academics. Like in 6th grade, he already know he gonna be an engineer. She already knows she want to be a nurse or a phlebotomist or whatever the case may be. That group of kids kind of sort of had things already figured out, a direction figured out. And meanwhile, I'm southeast side of Cleveland. My friends, everybody about to be an athlete,
right?
You know. And so navigating through those 2 different worlds, man, I got exposure to great thinkers. Once I started to go to that school, I started learning about James Baldwin. I started to learn about the artistry of Tupac, right, as a poet. And so that then gave me a different perspective on like my circumstances on the southeast side of Cleveland. I'm like, my homies in my neighborhood, everybody gonna be a basketball player or a football player or a rapper, and that's the way out. But over here, the energy was just different. People move with a certain level of intentions over here. And so I'm bringing that energy back to this space.
I want to ask you a question, not to cut you off.
No, you good, brother.
Even as a kid seeing that, right, what was the biggest thing you noticed about the way how the kids actually were, like on a day-in basis?
It was no direction on the east side. Like we had no opportunities to explore like career opportunities, real career opportunities. Over here, these families had structure, especially academic structure. Like, no, the expectation is this. There was a low standard of expectations over here. And so being conscious, being very conscious at that age, 10, 11, 12, and I'm fully starting to understand like, why are we so complacent over here? And so I had a little bit of frustration too, like when it came to my people, but at the same time, peer pressure in the environment and not wanting to and wanting to assimilate.
It's like our people would kind of make you feel like something wrong with you because you don't want to do what they doing.
Why you paying attention to all this other stuff, bro? We focus on this over here.
Right, and it's all, but it's negative shit though.
Come on.
It's negative shit.
But the negative shit is the expectation.
Right.
So anything that is presented differently than that, it's like, oh, this foreign. They treat it like it's a disease. They attack it. And so I had a lot of frustration. So I spent a lot of time, especially as a young child, observing, because I didn't have the type of environment where you can voice your opinion or your perspective. I'm talking about like at home, like my closest spaces. And so I spent a lot of time just being really observant at that age.
I get the feeling that was kind of already kind of brewing in you.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of setting you up to be on the path that you
Absolutely.
on now.
And I'm learning about all these great leaders that defied authority. Like, I'm trying to be on what they on. I'm learning about Malcolm. I'm learning about Huey and how they move, and I'm like, they wouldn't take this.
Right.
And so like how some people idolize Spider-Man and superheroes or rappers. I never looked up to any of those type of people as like role models that I wanted to emulate or strive to be. I never had those like career goals of being a rapper or so on and so forth. So for me, it was always like these leaders. And then what I was seeing connected to what they was preaching at that time, even though it's in the 60s and so on and so forth, I'm like, this is 2003 and I'm still experiencing it.
And that was something you picked up on your own. That wasn't taught to you.
It was a little bit of both, right? Because my introduction to the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense was via a VHS cassette tape that my dad had.
Okay.
Right. So a lot of that knowledge or self-identity was instilled in us at a young age. But then I started I started outsourcing it. I started finding out about different leaders from different eras. And so that for me, like I think I was like 9 or 10 when I found that VHS tape in the back and blew the dust off of it. It opened up a different chamber in my brain that I couldn't close. I couldn't stop existing in that room. Like that room became my favorite room in my brain, and that's what I started to build up. And
speaking of your dad, he was a BD.
GD. GD back in the day in the 90s, high ranking member of that movement.
Was he was born in Chicago or?
No, my dad was from Cleveland, but when they brought it here, Cleveland, my dad was one of the first ones to get engaged in that type of activity. And to be honest, like it's stuff like that I wish that in my upbringing I would have had more information about. Right, I ain't found out about like the news articles and my dad being a part of like peace movements and stuff until I got like an adult, and he opened up the closet like, cause I'm doing this work and he like, yeah, let me show you this. I'm like, damn, I wish I would have. The whole time he left the breadcrumbs there, right? I had access to tap into that, some of the information if I come across it, but like I wanted that right there. Yeah. That's who I wanted to be able to pull from that side.
At what age did you find out that he was a GD?
It'd be signs all through your childhood. Yeah. Just based on like,
but not knowing what it is.
You really like that.
Yeah.
It'd be signs like, just in their response to certain stuff or how they move, their energy. That was always there. My whole family, like that type of energy was always present. But it was like something we don't talk about it though. It's like you are who you are and people know.
Right.
But you ain't got to speak on it. But then once I became older, and now I'm outside, I'm running into people he used to kick it with back in the day that's now pushing peace. They got youth mentorship programs. Like, you such and such son. Oh, hey, man, let me tell you about your pops and this. And I'm like, damn, I ain't in. He was moving like that for real.
Right. So like I say, it was already in you.
Yeah.
Once you became of age, you never had a conversation with your pops about, from back in the day or, from his transition from... was he a criminal at all, or?
I believe so. Again, it's like a lot of things that we never directly talk about.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting at.
So it would be like you would maybe hear it bypassing the conversation, but it never was like, this is what we finna talk about. Right. That's just the way my whole family has been set up. And I think a lot of black families set up, like we don't really dive into like, it's like, we don't really dive into like
family background
or trauma.
Yeah.
We don't really dive into trauma. We'll touch on it and then we want to move on.
Sweep it under the
rug. Mm-hmm. But really a lot of that information, if shared, it just provides a different perspective. And now I'm not judging conduct or behavior based off of what I see, but now I'm judging it based off what I know about you.
Right.
What you went through. And so, yeah, all of that stuff, I think in general, and black families, period, it'll be beneficial. But yeah.
No, for sure.
You did your research, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
You did your research.
I got to. You know what I'm saying? I got to.
I appreciate you for doing that too.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So New Era Cleveland. What was your first introduction to New Era?
Yeah, this was about 2017. At the start of the winter time, and I'm make me an Instagram account. I'm, like most people, I got a whole lot of, the algorithm feeds you a whole lot of craziness. And so that's really what I was consuming on social media. And then on my Explorer page, I just happened to stumble across, based off of some of the stuff I was looking into, like Kwame Ture and movements and so on and so forth. I stumbled across this video that showed these brothers pressing an issue in Detroit. A store clerk had assaulted a patron. And the brothers pulled up to the store and was like, listen, what happened? One, break down why we want to understand from your perspective. This man is saying that you did this to him. Is this true? Show us the cameras. We want to see that entire incident. And the store owner just like, man, I got to show you shit. Like,
basically, y'all not police, so.
Yeah, right. I don't owe you no explanation. But they're like, no, we setting a standard in this neighborhood. I don't care what folks allowed to happen last year. Like, this is a new era. We setting the tone now. You can't do that. If you own a business in our community, whether you black, Palestinian, Asian, Latino, like, respect is non-negotiable, right? Because it's our money that keep these lights on. It's our money that allow you to put food on your table, bro.
And respect don't have no color on it.
Come on, man. You gonna respect us, bro, because you gonna take our money, right?
Right.
And so what they ended up doing was the store owner was like, basically like, man, y'all get the fuck out of here. And they like, all right, we ain't leaving, and you ain't making no money. And so they was telling people like, listen, don't spend no money here. This store is shut down. And to the store, cut off the lights and shut the store down. I'm like, damn, we got that type of power. Keep in mind, we in Cleveland. They just killed Tamir Rice. Yeah, we looted and tore up downtown, but it ain't impact our neighborhoods though.
Right.
And what message we really push? Like, yeah, people upset, but what are we willing to do to change the conditions? And when I saw that, I was like, I got to be a part of that. So I reached out. I'm like, I'll travel to Detroit to be a part of y'all movement. Like, when can I come up there?
You just shot them like a DM?
Yeah, I shot them a DM, and it's like, well, we just started a chapter in your city in Cleveland. Tap in with them. And so I did. That next weekend, they had a meeting. I show up to the meeting. We talking. We building.
Yeah, you said this was 2017. So by that time, New Era Cleveland was just founded in 2016. 2016,
yep. Mm-hmm. They just had kicked off. Yep. And every day since then, it's been that.
So
New Era.
What was that first meetup like?
It just was brainstorming. It was a lot of people voicing their frustration. And what's crazy is at the first meeting I went to, it was a lot of people. There was a lot of people at that first meeting. And then when the weather had broke, they had their first like action outside where we going out, we clean up the neighborhood, and it was like 6 people. I'm like, damn, all these people show up because they want to talk and voice their frustration. Very few people.
But it was only a handful of people on the front line.
Only people showed up to do the work.
Okay.
And so that was my introduction to that's how this shit go.
New Era, they got organizations all over the country, right?
Yes, sir.
And what I seen, it was Philly,
chapters,
Atlanta, Detroit. Am I missing any?
Chicago, Vegas, Dayton, Ohio. That's the beautiful thing about being a part of this movement is that ability to move around the cities like Baltimore, Philly, Vegas, and tap in with people that's really like on the ground doing the work and share ideas and share concepts and take some of the things that we're implementing here in Cleveland and take that elsewhere and see other people implement that, or to take back different ideas like going to Charlotte or going to Detroit and seeing spaces where black people have taken ownership and they started their own food pantry, a community-owned grocery store that's owned by the residents in the neighborhood that then generate revenue from that store, that sell their products in that store. And so bringing these things back and implementing that here in the city of Cleveland, where somebody may have not even thought that was a possibility, but I seen it in real time. And so now I'm the type of person, once I see something now, oh, you can't tell me I can't do it.
What's the one thing that, even though you're in a different city, what's the one thing that's constant amongst people?
I would say struggle is profound in every major black city. East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest, it don't matter. Our conditions are the same. The energy is still the same, but so is the love. Like when we show up and we push it through a neighborhood, it feel the same. in every city we go to. And it's like, for me, that's the one thing that, like, when we touch down in the city before we even hit the streets, and we just going to get something to eat, or we just coming in from the airport, we driving in on the freeway, and you driving through the neighborhoods, and you seeing, like, damn, look at the deprivation, all the abandoned homes, look at the fiends, and you know, all of that. Like, you looking at it, like, damn, this look like East Cleveland, or this look like certain areas on Kinsman, or this look like Superior St. Clair. And then when you get out and you build with the people, and it's like, man, all this energy, this feel like home. Like, the love, like, people happy we here. Like, what's up, family? How you doing, bro? Right. Hey, bro, you sound different. Where you from, bro?
right.
You know, that type of energy. Like, but it's still all love, man. And thank y'all for pulling up and doing this, bro. Where you from? I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Damn, bro, you drove all the way to, you came all the way to Cali to do this? Yeah. What? To just give out flowers, bro, and embrace us, bro? You caught a flight, 2 flights to get here to do that? Yeah, you my people, you my brother, bro. I love you. But it's also important for me to see this firsthand. That way I can go back home and realize, like, it's a larger fight, right? It's a larger battle that we all actively play a role in. So that's that extra boost that keep me going. Like, it ain't just about, like, my city, my neighborhood.
You talked about being in LA.
On Nip Day, too. That was crazy.
You said on Nip Day?
On Nip Day.
What's Nip Day out there?
It's his birthday, which is August 15th. And it's just like the whole city just celebrate Nip. And it's like,
damn, okay, that's dope.
Listen, bro.
Talk about that.
Man, listen, bro.
Y'all was on Slauson too, right?
On Crenshaw and Slauson,
yeah,
bro,
okay.
right there.
You say we was right there,
bro.
yeah.
Like, and too, this was the first, when I went out there, this was the first year they had it. This was the same year that he got murdered. And you know, growing up in gang culture, right, and never seeing neighborhoods. I never, in my time here in Cleveland, bro, I never seen like a unified front of all neighborhoods, like where everybody together and it's just a day of peace. Don't matter where you from or what color you banging, bro. In LA, that was that. Like, it was like, it's
so that day the Crips and Bloods was united.
Everybody, bro. Everybody. And everybody was right there in that neighborhood, bro. All the food trucks, all the good bag, like everything was right there, man. It was dope just to experience that. And that was my first time in California. And so for that to be my first experience, and we ain't stay in the car. We got outside and we walked through Crenshaw and Slauson. Like, we dapping everybody. We stopping in front of, they had it gated at the time that the plaza where the marathon store was blocked off. But man, one of the most powerful moments, bro. And that shit brought tears to my eyes. And at that time, I climb up one of the telephone poles and I look over the gate, bro. And where Nipsey got that, they had the bottles, the candles, the teddy bears, the marathon merch, albums, bro. And to see them do that and honor that space, that sacred space in such a way, bro, it was like the energy just was like, it was overwhelming.
It touched you.
It touched me, yeah. It was overwhelming. And then the love from everybody I was pushing through, bro. And then they see us moving through, like we was moving through as one unit. All had on the same color, like.
So does New Era, do they have a branch out in LA, or you guys
Long
went out
Beach.
there as a collective? Oh,
Yeah,
Long
there's
Beach.
there's a branch out in Long Beach. So that day we did a mobile resource distribution, and folks in the neighborhood was talking about Nip, and they was like, yeah, they got Nip Day going on, Crenshaw and Slauson today. So we made that drive from Long Beach to LA that day. I don't even know if it was coordinated, to be honest. Like, I'm out there, bro. Where we at?
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, what we doing? What's the itinerary? And so, yeah, to end up there and see that, bro, was crazy, man.
Why do you think, like the gang culture, the gang influence, why do you think that has such a strong hold on our people?
Camaraderie, brotherhood, sense of belonging. Like, you got a space where you accept it. And especially for our young people that are impacted by trauma, poverty, abuse may be going on in the household, or the lights off, or they ain't got food. And you got a group right here that take you in, right? Y'all share clothes. Y'all chipping in money together to get food. Like, you know, that building that, and that's why sports work. That's why the military work. You know, that's how a lot of the systems and institutions work. They build off of camaraderie, and so the streets do the same thing. But at the same time, your brother can slime you out, right? Because we all in survival mode. So I'm cool with you having it as long as I got it, but you can't have more than me, right? Or then you become a prey and a potential victim.
Where do you think that mindset come from?
Poverty, survival. Yeah, you know, and it's like, but that's what was beaten into us though, and that's the part that we don't go far enough to talk about is intergenerational trauma and the way that trauma is passed down, and it transmutes our DNA, our genetic makeup, because your great grandfather seen his family get ripped apart. He got beat half to death within an inch of his life. They fed his baby to an alligator. Like, where does someone see that, experience that? Where do you think that energy go? It live in our body, right? And then you impregnate a woman, and that goes to that woman, and is then birthed in that child, and then that child carries that. And so we got to go back far enough to understand what happened to us to get us to this point.
I know me personally, I value my friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like one of the biggest things about me. Like, I value my friendships. You know what I'm saying? All of my friends, we've been cool since we was like sandbox days.
That's powerful.
The number one reason why I value my friendship so bad is because, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't have brothers, you know, that I grew up with or that I could, you know what I'm saying? So like that camaraderie, like, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Yeah. And as far as the community work, I can speak to that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you guys booked me to DJ a couple years back. We did the parade downtown.
Lit.
Yeah, no, that was cold. That was cold. That was
lit,
cold.
Bro. Yeah.
But more specifically, what stood out to me was when you guys had booked me to do, we had walked in Bedford, downtown Bedford. Mm-hmm. And you guys were hand in hand giving out supplies, checking on people, how you doing. Not even if you didn't want nothing, are you okay? Like, how you feeling? Yep. And the response that I seen from the community, you know what I'm saying? You got people that was opening their doors like, oh, damn, you know, like, speak to that. How does that feel? The look on that single mom's face, you know what I'm saying? That got 4 kids. You showing up with a bag full of groceries, you know what I'm saying? Speak to the look on the kids' faces that's at the park, you know, and they see, you know, 100 people walking down, you know what I'm saying? Speak to that.
Hope. Yeah, that's what that represent, man. That feeling. And it took me a long time to understand, like, what's that feeling I feel when we walk through the neighborhood and people popping out their house, or I see the little kids running down the street to catch up to us, or we pass through and the kids hanging out the cars, or a lady hanging out the car honking her horn with her fist raised. Like, that represent hope, bro. And that shit's so powerful, because hope, for people that strive to keep us oppressed, hope is dangerous. Like, to plant a seed of hope, like, no, they want to snuff out all hope. We don't want them to see no light. We don't want them to see any opportunity to build together, like, to stand strong and to be empowering for themselves, like, to do for themselves. Man, they don't want us to have that. And so that's what we present, right? And what's so powerful about it is it's through love. Yeah. It's through love. Like, it ain't through no super militant, like, all black and we all got guns and we coming through and we marching. Like, no, we knocking on the door. Peace, Queen, how you doing? How many babies you got in this house? Hey, yo, we got toys. Yo, run me some of them basketballs, them footballs over here, jump rope, sidewalk, chalk, bubbles. They want a teddy bear, a puzzle, a book. Y'all hungry? We got food. We got groceries for y'all. Like, what you need? We got cleaning supplies for you. What you need, Queen? You just need to build. You need to talk to somebody. Hey, yo, somebody come over here and get Queen number real quick. We're going to stay in touch, Queen. We got a women's domestic violence group that we host weekly if you need that type of support. You know, and so on and so forth. So it's just so powerful, man, to be present in the neighborhood like in that type of way. And it's not watered down. We coming through, we got the DJ, we got music going, it's lit, people line dancing in the street. Like, you know, how often we see that in the neighborhoods, bro?
As a kid, I'd never seen that.
Never seen it. Mm-hmm. Just imagine being 6, 7 years old and, you know, I don't know what your childhood experience was like, but just imagine being that young and we come down your street.
In 2022, you were wrongfully arrested for carrying an unconcealed weapon and inducing panic. Yeah. Is that what caused the standoff? Is that the same case? Yeah. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that sounds crazy, don't it? Wrongfully arrested for carrying an unconcealed weapon.
That do sound crazy, yeah.
Don't even make sense in itself, bro. Really what that was, man, was that, again, that was a case of really a few things, bro, when I as I reflect and break it down, man. One, a black man with a firearm. And one of the cops was like, well, he's not really breaking any laws. And one of the officers' response was, yeah, but he can't do that. And what he meant when he said he can't do that, he meant me specifically. Like, this black man or this N-word, he can't do that, and we're not going to allow him to do that. Because
two things. Yes, at that point, did y'all have a relationship
No.
Got in or
Nope.
So he didn't know your affiliation when you were at all.
Nope.
Okay.
From my understanding.
No, he didn't.
Right. From my understanding, he didn't.
Okay.
I don't know what he really knew.
Walk us through that whole situation from top to bottom. Like, how did that even happen?
Yeah. So,
and then what side of town were you on as well?
I'm at the moment I'm coming from home. I'm on the freeway. I get a notification about a shooting happening in the St. Clair neighborhood. Now, at this point in time, this is like towards the early evening, like 5-6 o'clock. It had been 3 shootings in the same neighborhood throughout the course of this 24 hours. The first incident involved a 14-year-old girl, Abriana Jackson, at home in her bed. Bullets come through her window, killed this baby. 14-year-old kid, straight A student, right? So that was it for me right there. I'm on 10 already, like, because when an innocent person, especially a child, get caught in gunfire, I got a personal issue with that, right? Because what part of the streets permits that, right? And then my thing for people in our community is there's never any outrage. There's never any organized response, right? But the police kill one of us. Everybody want to loot. We want to protest. We want to tear the streets up.
But when it's one of our own, we quiet.
Come on. Ain't nobody got nothing to say, especially the streets. Because my thing is, like, everybody like that is affiliated with street life and street culture, y'all need to be on that. Y'all need to be on that. Y'all need to find out who did that. Y'all need to take care of that. That's my perspective on that, right? And this is not to advocate for violence in any capacity, but when innocent people, especially our children, get caught in the ground, we got to set a standard, bro. You can't do that over here. That set the tone for the day, man. And then, so I make my way. I actually was en route to a community meeting when I get notified about the third shooting. And the third shooting happened at a repast. So a repast for a funeral that day, somebody come through and shoot the funeral up. 122 shell casings was picked up from that shooting. 7 people shot. And so I get over there to the neighborhood. And at this point in time, we've been doing armed community patrols for years. I've been speaking to police cadets about community engagement, right? When they come into our neighborhoods, how to engage with residents. Because most of these cops not from our neighborhoods, never been to the neighborhoods. They from rural areas, way out in Hickville, USA. Yeah. Ain't grew up around no black people, don't understand how we navigate through the neighborhood and the different politics. So I get to the neighborhood. I'm open carrying 2 firearms. I got a 40 caliber on my hip. I got a shotgun. I'm live streaming. I start at 105. I parked at a CVS over there or Walgreens or something like that. And I hit the neighborhood, put my vest on. I hit the neighborhood. I'm making my way down the neighborhood. And people like, oh, what's up? Hey, yeah, thank you, bro. We appreciate you, family. Lady come up to me. She stopped, parked, get out the car and hug me like, thank you, black man. Like, and so that right there, this is before I even ran into any police officer or anything. I get by the Tops Plaza, and the security guard from the plaza comes over to me. He dapped me up. He's like, thank you, bro. I'm actually watching. He's like, I'm watching the live stream because I'm on the remembrance page at the time. I hit them up like, hey, I'm finna go over there and do a patrol. She's like, oh, log into the account, live streaming. I'm like, oh, that's actually a good idea. That's what I'm doing. And this the way God be working, bro. Hindsight being 2020, that was actually one of the things that saved my life was me being on live. Yeah. Because I was documenting everything. And so you couldn't question what my intentions were, what I'm here to do, because I said it on the live from the beginning.
You can 2 things you can't dispute: video and what's in black and white.
Come on, man. And so the first cop pulls up on me. He like, excuse me, sir, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, I don't want to talk right now, but I'm good, sir. My name is Antoine Tobert. Like, I'm out here because a shooting happened, a baby girl got killed, so on and so forth. He's like, but yeah, you
so these shootings, this happened on the same day?
All in 24 hours. Yeah. Okay. All in the same day. And so, and what I found out after the fact was 2 of them were connected situations. Okay. One was retaliation for the other one that happened earlier that day. Okay. And so, as I'm making my way through the neighborhood, the first cop pulls up. I'm like, he like, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. What's going on? I tell him. I'm like, all right, am I under arrest? He said, no. I said, am I free to go? He said, yes. Have a good day, sir. Keep walking. Another car pulls up immediately after this one, within minutes. Same thing.
And so at this point, are you walking down St. Clair?
I'm walking down St. Clair. Now I'm on the main road. I'm like near like probably 102nd in St. Clair. And when the second car pulls up, first car stops me right after I get past the fire station near like 105. Second car pulls up shortly after. Same thing. Same thing. The man is yelling at me though. This time it's a different officer and it's a man just yelling at me from the car. So I'm like, this nigga yelling at me from across the street. I'm like, man, I really ain't talking to you, bro. You tripping. Get up out of here. And then the third car pulls up and it's a lady and a young man. And she gets out and she's a lot more calmer. She's a lot more respectful and patient. She like, hey, what's going on? Can you talk to me for a second? Stop, talk to her. I tell her what happened while I'm out here. I'm like, am I under arrest? She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, am I free to go? Yeah, you free to go. Okay, y'all, please stop stopping me. Why y'all making this a spectacle? Like, y'all making this a thing and y'all agitating me. Like, is that the goal, to get me agitated? And so at this point, I'm noticing more cars now just flying past me after I walk away from the third car. Now I look a little further down the street. I'm like, oh, they boxing me in.
Are you alone at this point?
I'm alone at this point.
Okay.
So I'm looking down the street. I'm like, they're boxing me in. And so now I'm just mentally preparing myself for this confrontation, because what they're going to try to do is stop me now. They done blocked off traffic. They're not going to let me get past this point.
What's going through your mind at this point?
At this point, it's just really...
Are you nervous at all, or?
Nah, I'm not nervous. I was so calm. I was so at peace, like, at this point. Like, after I realized what was happening, I don't know, I kind of just, like, I allow myself just to relax, like, because I'm not going to entice a situation to then I'm getting a shootout with the police.
Yeah, because that's what they want you to do.
Exactly. So I'm like, I see what y'all trying to make this be, and I'm not gonna go there with y'all with that type of energy, but I'm not gonna back down either. And so as I continue, a car fly past me. Police car. He stops probably about maybe 100 feet ahead of me, gets out the car. He's angled this way, facing towards me in the street. And the street is all blocked off. It's a crowd of people outside now, like at the corner of the street. At
this point, you're knowing that you could potentially lose your life in this moment.
Yeah, for sure.
And you weren't nervous at all.
No. And at any point, I'm gonna be completely honest, the only point where I was nervous was when I was being booked in, and we'll get into that specifically why. Okay. And so I see this crowd forming at the corner, right where the police got the street blocked off at. It's a crowd forming at the corner. And I'm making my way down there. Keep in mind, I got the phone right here in this hand, live streaming. Shotgun. I got a shotgun. I got one hand on it. And my hand is on the barrel, like the midpoint of the shotgun. So it's in no firing position. So I really, truly, in essence, pose no threat. It's almost impossible to shoot a shotgun with one arm.
Right.
Damn near impossible. And so I'm holding it. And my finger's not on the trigger, not on the handle. It's on the middle near the barrel, 40 caliber on my hip. And I'm live streaming. They see I'm live streaming, too. At this point, it's like a couple thousand people on Instagram live watching it from the Remembrance page.
Why wasn't no other members from New Era with you at this time?
It was a split-second decision for me to go over there. So at the time, I was headed to a community meeting. And then I get the second notification. I'm like, oh, no, hell no. I'm finna go over there right now.
So you didn't hit nobody else up to come?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. And I'm, hindsight being 2020, and just advice that I had gotten from just different people, it's like, don't serve yourself up on no platter for them, right? Don't let them catch you by yourself. But truly, in essence, at that moment where it was like the rubber meet the road and it's me surrounded by the police, it was a whole neighborhood outside, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part for me that was so powerful, right? I'm surrounded there. This one cop is shouting at me with his firearm pointing at me. I'm like, man, go find all this energy, y'all. Look how much resources y'all got right here. It's a K9. Like, it's a whole thing, bro. I'm just like, none of this energy was applied to addressing none of the 3 incidences that happened prior to this one. But because it's me, right? It's a black man out here with a firearm that y'all know. I already identified me, right? Because one of the cops is like, from the third car, he's like, oh yeah, he teaches a class. At the police academy. Oh, I know who he is. I know the group. Oh yeah, he good. And so I think all of these things transpiring in the background prior to, and again, we got body cam footage, so all this stuff is documented. All these things transpiring in the background that I didn't know about, it was like setting the tone for them to close me off, had this standoff. Their mindset was already made from the first interaction that this is what was going to transpire. Right. It just was a matter of how they were going to go about doing it. Keep in mind, this is the same police department, Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams, 137 shots. The same officers, Tamir Rice, same police department. So all this is playing in my mind too at that time. And so for me, it's like I'm not backing down. And to the whole neighborhood out here, they not finna let y'all do nothing to me. Cause they was trying to keep them from going in the street. People was like, they trying to get to me, like, and so to see all this happening was like, I understood in that moment what I represented. And so I did not allow myself to back down or cower to them. They had to come around the back from behind one of the telephone poles and just basically wrap their arms around me and grab me.
If you ever had met your purpose face to face, that was that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And when he did that, they get the handcuffs on me, they take me over to the car, and they got to take my book bag off and my vest off. When they did that, I threw my fist up, right? And my fist is raised, and I'm hearing people in the back going crazy, bro. You know, yeah, that was a powerful moment, bro. Yeah, that was a powerful moment, man. When that happened, bro, it was surreal. Like, it was surreal, man. Yeah. Then getting to now the part where I started to become concerned was when I got to the county jail. They're booking me, and they're reading off the list of charges. And at that moment, there were no arrestable offenses that I was being charged with. Inducing panic, that's not an arrestable offense. And so the officer that took me down to book and process me, she calls the sergeant that basically that decided they weren't going to let me move forward. And she's like, okay, they're not going to hold him. He was like, well, charge him with carrying a concealed weapon, CCW. She's like, but none of the weapons were concealed. He's like, put it on the paper. They booked and processed me on. They made up a charge, bro. They charged me with something that never happened. So that's why I was able to file that lawsuit against the city of Cleveland. That's why they ended up paying out $88,000, $33,000 of that went to my legal fees. But the opportunities I lost in between that, right? Because it was basically me against the police department. And so it was like I was losing. You
took the question right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, like, what was the fallout from the situation?
Yeah, you know, folks had their own perspective of how that situation went down, right? And too, from there, it put a stain on my name in regards to some of these institutions and funders wanting to really support the work that we were doing. Yeah, it was like, yeah, they doing impactful work, but you know, Fahiem going at it with the police department, Fahiem going at it with the mayor. So any institution that then is supporting me in theory is in opposition against everybody else that's against me, including the city of Cleveland and the mayor's administration. So a lot of folks was like, listen, we expect the work, but
he kind of hot right now.
He hot right now. Yeah. So I ended up getting fired from my job. I worked for a development corporation. Again, that's partner with the city of Cleveland. So I was fired from that job. And essentially, like, my income was like, it was slowed down to a drip for like a year and a half. So that little bit of money really was just reimbursement for the hole I put myself in during that time.
Right.
Yeah. And that was that first situation.
In 2024, you were arrested and eventually indicted on extortion charges, aggravated robbery, aggravated riot. The store owner, Ruben Swift, accused you of terrorizing the gas station. Yeah,
he's not. We found out throughout the trial he's not an owner. He has no affiliation with the gas station in any capacity.
Okay, talk about that case.
Yeah, that whole summer really was the summer of 2024 was a crazy summer because we had really been pressing our issue all throughout the city with these community engagement walks, showing up in every neighborhood. This was the first year that we took our engagement walks, so those night patrols, Friday nights, Saturday nights, out in the neighborhoods. We carrying firearms, we engaging with our people. We're stopping at all of these high crime areas, so gas stations, liquor stores, late at night, car meetups and block parties and so on and so forth, and just building rapport with people, man. Like, and the love that we was getting throughout these different neighborhoods, bro, was so profound. From down the way to East Cleveland to up the way, all the way up Harvard, bro. Like, we was everywhere. Fleet, 71st and Fleet, going out to the west side, 123rd and Lorraine. Like, it was all love everywhere we went. But one thing that really stood out to me was the role that a lot of these businesses play in, like, the drug trade and, like, sex trafficking in our neighborhoods. Okay. Keep in mind, like, I'm moving around through the city, so I'm very intentional about what spaces
your ear to the streets. Your ear to the streets at all times.
So I'm paying attention to how they operating at the gas station when we pull up, versus what I see when I drive through prior to us getting out, and just seeing like, okay, the people inside the gas station is tied into what's happening outside the gas station as well. Like, there's no way that the two and two don't work hand in hand with each other. And so once I started to see that in every different neighborhood, how stuff was being funneled into our communities, I'm like, oh yeah, no, these stores, I got a problem with them too. Y'all ain't victims. y'all business not being victimized, bro. Y'all cool with them doing this out here because you benefit as well. And in fact, you may even be holding, supplying, or allowing for the distribution to happen. Like, come on. So once I started saying that, we started pulling tighter on the businesses. And this one business in particular in the Lee Harvard neighborhood, where the car meetups were happening, street takeovers happening, this business was basically allowing the people to kick it on their property. Like, buy lick, kids, children, buy alcohol and tobacco products, which again, to me, like, it's a safety risk, but that's not my main concern while I'm here. My main concern while I'm here, while we occupy the space, New Era, Cleveland, is to make sure that these kids don't kill each other. Make sure they all leave and get home safely. So we ain't here to disrupt the kick it, but we're here to maintain that this is a safe environment. And so keep in mind, I do work inside of ODYS, the Ohio Department of Youth Services. I'm at the Juvenile Detention Center. We got programming in the community, so I know all these kids. So what's up, bro? Oh, what's up, How you feeling, OG? I'm like, damn, status now. So I take it though, what's up, bro? And listen, y'all be safe, man. How you get here? Oh yeah, we got an Uber or Lyft or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. All right, y'all be safe, man. And people just really being able to enjoy being present at something and not worried about who about to up or who finna mess up to kick it. Cause we here, we not going for that.
Right.
And whoever it is, they outgunned. They ain't finna, they not willing to, when people know they can do something and there isn't an organized response, or there's not somebody that's gonna take on a direct threat.
Yeah, get them free will pretty much.
Come on, free will. I could just shoot this who gonna shoot back? But we out here now, you know what I'm saying? So all that energy just started dying down. But this gas station, young girl gets shot a few hours, about an hour or so after we leave the car meetup, across the street from this gas station. So that following week we pull up, and we talking to the gas station owners, and bro, like basically like, why y'all back on the property? And we're like, we here because the kids is here, they fighting, they finna come over here and fight. He like, that ain't my concern. I'm like, well, if the safety of the kids in this community are not your concern, you're not a part of this neighborhood, you shouldn't be over here then. So I'm about to show you why it should be your concern. So at that point, we started a boycott, right? Don't nobody spend no money here. The only reason why you here is because of this money that you're making. So let's slow up your cash flow. And so I would say about 80-something% of the people was like, all right, say less. We ain't spending no money here. We're going to go across the street. It was a few that was like, hey, I fuck with them. Or Muhammad, that's my homie, bro. They good peoples, man. It just was a misunderstanding. I'm like, I don't care about the misunderstanding, bro. Turn them lights off. Y'all not making no money. So the owner pulls up. One of the owners pulls up. I explained to him what happened. He's like, okay, which one of my employees say that? I point him out. He's like, okay, he fired. He done. Fired a guy or whatever, allegedly. And then like a few days after that, bro, I'm getting a call from the councilman and one of the other owners. And he's just like, who do you think you is coming on my property trying to shut down my store and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, listen.
You said this is the councilman talking to you?
This is the store owner. The councilman just listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the owner is on the phone, and I tell him what happened, and then the councilman like, I just want to get y'all on the phone so we can hash this out. Like, you a good dude. Like, I just want him to understand your intentions and what y'all doing. He don't know. And again, he's not American either, right? He's Palestinian, so he don't. His thing is like, how can you do this to me? Like, who do you think you are? Like,
yeah.
I'm not your business partner. You don't own the property. You can't come on my property and tell people not to spend no money here. And so that partner,
which is not against the law, by the way,
which is not against the law at all, to boycott a business. And so that following week, we advertised that we was doing another boycott. And so when we pull up, it was outside. The owner and like 6 or 7 of his people was outside. They had straps too. And so once we been in the corner, they right there waiting for us. And so we had this little shouting match back and forth. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? We're not going to argue with y'all. We're not going to go back and forth. We're going to move forward with the boycott. And so we started doing that. And that parking lot got empty real quick, man. And so they called the police. And as the police are pulling up, one of the owners fired a shot in the air. So the police get out, weapons drawn at one of my members, and my member just get down on the ground, put his hands behind his head. Officers got their weapons drawn on him. They take his gun, they test it. They're like, okay, this weapon wasn't fired. So who fired the shot, right? And then just in the chaos of everything, that kind of just got swept under the rug. But they ended up charging me a few days after that with those nine charges. I'm sorry, with those, at the time it was 7 felony charges with gun specs attached to them.
But it ended up being 9.
It ended up being 9 because 8 months after that, they ended up tacking on charging me with aggravated robbery and aggravated kidnapping for busting up a drug deal. So a guy on Imperial selling drugs to one of the kids in my program, selling drugs to all the kids in the neighborhood, a grown man, right? His mom, like, it's weed in my room. Like, he got weed in the house. I come get it. He tell me, like, where he got it from. I'm like, oh, yeah, call bro back over here and come get something from me. Now, our intentions was, hey, bro, you selling weed to this kid, bro. He a 12, 13-year-old boy, man. Why you do? And you selling weed. The kid is telling us, like, yeah, I got his number from my friend. She stayed down the street. A little girl, he pulling up to serve a little, man, listen, who is this dude? Get him over there. Bro, get out the car, take off running, leave the car, phone, drugs in the car. We call the police. They come impound the vehicle. Hey, thank y'all, man. What y'all did was great. It's phenomenal. We wish we had more people like y'all. They offer some advice to the young guy, like, listen, what you're doing is dangerous, right? We just had a kid last week try to sell a cell phone. They robbed him and shot him. Mm-hmm. And so they like, this dude could do the same thing to you. Like, it ain't about, it's about this little bit of money he can get from you, bro. Like, it'll go that far. And so that was one of the very few positive experiences that I seen, like, police have in our neighborhoods when it comes to dealing with our youth, bro. And we ended up getting charged for that 8 months later. Them officers had to come in and testify. And what was so powerful was they testified on our behalf. Like, nah, they was law-abiding. They did everything by the book. Like, we appreciate them in the neighborhood. But them officers got reprimanded for advocating on our behalf. Basically what they said, the officers didn't do their job because they wanted them to then, criminalize us, and they didn't do that.
So they attached the drug deal thing to the gas station?
8 months later, they did, yeah.
But how were they able to do that?
So because I had an active, like, a current indictment, they basically just tapped that in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just added that on top of there. And it was crazy because the same week that they did that, that Monday, I had one of my final pretrial hearings. We were getting ready to go to trial in like 2 weeks. And so they asked me if I would take a plea deal. The judge did, and I said no. I scoffed at him in court. Like,
what was your plea deal?
I don't even know, bro. I ain't even entertaining. I don't even want to hear about it because I know I ain't do what y'all said I did. So let's go ahead and go to trial, bro.
Right.
That was my energy towards that, and they was like, "Oh, how dare? Who do you think he is?" Like, because it was like this confidence, this arrogance, and it was like, "Okay, we got you." And so on that Tuesday, it was announced that St. Luke's had funded our organization for that year for $150,000. That news broke on Tuesday. We were being indicted on Thursday. They added my wife Austria to the case. They added my oldest son Ramir to the case because Ramir was with me during the drug deal breakup situation. And then my wife, at the time when we had the situation with the gas station, she met with them privately. Her and some of our other members, and my attorney, and they ended up charging her with, like, intimidating a victim, like, just trying to up the stakes to get us to either have some sort of dysfunction or for me to then be like, all right, I'll take
or
the
just
play
to fall
deal.
for real.
Yeah.
So during this whole time, were you locked up during this whole time?
No, God is good, bro. I spent like 3 days in the county, and I was bonded out. And what's so powerful about this part, bro, and I would be remiss if I didn't speak on this, man. My bond was doubled, and a man whom I have never met, don't know him from a can of paint. If I was to see him today, bro, I couldn't even tell you what he looked like. Paid my bond. Palestinian man, and we shut down the Palestinian gas station. He respected what we did.
So you never found out how he connected that or any of that, or
through people that were supporting our movement, reached out to him and told him what happened. And then he supported. So this is all going on while I'm locked up. So I wasn't really hands-on with none of the situation. All I know is they telling me, like, your bond is paid. Bro said he gonna take care of you. But he's like he don't even know you.
He want to remain anonymous.
Exactly.
You said that your bond was double. What was your bond initially set at?
40,000.
40 grand.
Yep.
And then they doubled it to 80 grand.
Yep. And I had to pay bond twice because when it transitioned from like criminal or county court to like state, I had to repost bond again. And what they do is like it take 48 hours for, say if I wanted to reuse them same funds, it take 48 hours for them funds to be reimbursed. Yeah. Because they get that back to you. And so what bro did was he paid it twice.
Damn.
Like he ain't got to sit in jail for 48 hours while I'm about to pay it now, and they'll reimburse me for that. So I never met him. I don't even know his name.
You covered, bro.
Come on, bro.
You covered,
because I ain't have it.
Yeah,
I ain't have it, bro. Queen, like we gonna raise it, we gonna get you, bro. We got you. But then and what's crazy is the first time I was locked up for them 3 days, my PIN number wasn't working, so I couldn't call home and talk to nobody. And so it wasn't until my arraignment that I had like the first human contact with somebody outside of the county, and it was my attorney. Who at the time I thought I was gonna have a public defender, but when my attorney, who is now one of my best friends, Miriam, showed up, she was like, "No, we got you covered. Like, we got somebody to take care of the bond. We're gonna have that hearing today. You should be out in a couple hours." Right. I was like, damn.
Right.
Get me up out of here.
Man, I know that was like a weight off your shoulders.
Man.
What was you thinking?
Yeah, I'm just like, man, there's no way that this is gonna be able to stand up. And it's just really because I had been through it before. I had told myself it's just a matter of being persevering. It's a matter of just being able to withstand this period of time while they drag your name through the mud. Because I already knew, again, they ran this play on me before, so I already knew how this was going to work.
Yeah.
Except this time I knew, like, oh no, I'm going to have to take this all the way there because I'm listening to the, when they book and process you, they give you a paper with your charges on it. And so I'm like, damn, man, I'm really about to have to fight this case. And then I show up to the first pretrial hearing, and then I find out the surveillance footage from the gas station just vanished. I'm like, all of the surveillance footage from this incident, nobody has it. The detective didn't preserve it. The gas station didn't save it on a file. But guess what? We live streamed it, so I got it. And so we ended up having a stockpile of video footage, basically from the entire summer that really just depicted what we really outside doing. And it just destroyed that narrative that they had that we were attempting to extort this gas station, basically saying we targeted this these poor Palestinian business owners, and we're trying to make them pay us for security, when that's not even a service that we provide as an organization, especially not for a business. And so what I'm so blessed that we did do was just, again, we document everything. Our ledgers, all of our working docs that break down of all of our programs, all of our partnerships. And so throughout trial, we were able to really just show, like,
you have to indulge in CYA. Cover your ass.
Oh yeah.
You got to engage in that for sure, man. For sure.
Being able to really just dive into, like, no, this is actually everything right here in this documented. They looked into our finances. I mean, they went through everything.
Yeah, so, they're gonna go through it with a fine tooth comb for sure.
They wanted to they really
any little thing that they can hang their hat on or try to any chink in the armor, like they're gonna try to exploit it.
They have 100%. My phone, so all my text messages, everything that was in my phone, they can crack and they can even stuff that you deleted, like they got access to it.
Yeah.
And so throughout that whole process, man, they weren't able to put together anything. And so going through the pre-trials, they got to share exhibits and so on and so forth. Not that I ever anticipated for them to bring anything to the forefront. I just prepared myself for the unexpected. Like, what are they going to try to manufacture? And once we got to trial, and it was like, they didn't think we was going to go to trial. They didn't even have anything prepared to stand up against us, really, but a story or a theory that they had made up. And we had layers upon layers upon layers of truth. And everybody that they brought in to testify, trial was 6 weeks. It was 24 days. It was a very long jury trial, but from the first day, they really took an L. And they didn't win a single day of trial. Every day they got spanked in court. And I loved it because our lawyers, shout out to Peter Patakas and the Patakas firm, not only did he, from a legal perspective, outwit them with the truth, but he also, he highlighted the contradictions, right? Yeah. he and put it in their face. And that was the part for me that was like, yeah, don't just beat them, but beat them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Beat them down, like, to the point where they should feel ashamed for prosecuting us for this situation. They shouldn't feel good about themselves, like they doing something good. And so he did that. And getting that not guilty verdict was crazy, man, because I really felt like a lot of people counted us out.
I had seen an image, once you got that not guilty verdict, I seen you tear up.
Yeah, because I was like, it was just to finally, like, be vindicated, right? After a year and some change of having, like, the media playing with my name. I'm coming out of court, and Ed Gallick and the Fox News I-team right there, and they calling me a terrorist. And so my mom got to watch that. My grandma watching my kids, So people formulated an opinion about me just based off of that. And some people just felt bad, like, damn, it's crazy to see you going through that, bro. We know what you out here doing. We know you not doing that, but to see somebody have to get put through that, bro. And we lost, I'm going to share this too, we lost custody of our son, who's at the time, he was 9, 10.
You and your wife lost custody.
Of our son, because his father, his biological father, when this case kicked up, was like, oh, he's a threat. My child is not in a safe environment. So whether I'm innocent or guilty didn't matter. I'm being charged, right? So I'm not convicted at this time, but being able to leverage that in a child custody hearing and the impact that have on the family, it's like, bro, no amount of money, no amount of vindication gonna be able to fix that situation.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, man, I really, like, it put me in a space mentally where I was like, man, to finally get the not guilty verdict was like, it felt like we was taking some of our power back.
It's like rejoice.
Yeah.
But between the 2024 case and the 2022 case, what was the biggest difference?
I think that 2024,
it's clearly the 24 case that it seemed like that weighed a lot more on your shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. And too, I'm responsible. I got 2 co-defendants. I got my queen. I got my son. Like, I'm responsible for both of them.
Yeah.
And so it was that thing for me where it's like, if it's just me, I'm cool. Whatever the outcome is, like, I'll deal with it. But I only got to worry about just myself being kind of, put up there on that cross. But when it became, they knew what they was doing when they upped the stakes by charging them too. That was intentional. That was to get us to fold. And so to have all of us kind of stand clear on that, and too, just to know, like, we all got on the stand. I spent 3 days up there being cross-examined by the prosecutor. 3 days. My attorney talked to me I probably was up there for like maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. But the majority of that time was spent being cross-examined, trying to poke holes in our the work we doing, and my character, and I put belt to her backside.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know, like, she had this presumption about the Black Panther Party, y'all militant, y'all carry guns. Like, ma'am, we feed children. Yeah, 300,000 families fed through our work over, which is now our 10-year anniversary. Like,
say that again.
300,000 families fed, man. Like, you can't question our intentions. You know how much money and resources we poured into this out of our own pocket? Don't worry about it. It's documented. We'll show you. Like, we're not in this to gain anything, like, monetarily from doing this work. Like, and another thing was, like, okay, if we're extorting businesses in Cleveland and forcing them to pay us money for security, bring another business in here to make that same claim. You can't find one more business owner that says that we did this to him? Yeah. And two, just the at the time there's the war going on in Gaza, there's the genocide going on in Palestine. And so they tried to leverage that as well, saying these poor Palestinian business owners. But then when they look in the pews at trial, the whole courtroom was packed out every day. We had white, black, Palestinian, like, Juneteenth, like it was that same mixture of people there.
Yeah.
And so that narrative, they couldn't use that.
As a side note, when I DJ'd the Juneteenth event, that was one of the things that stood out to me. I noticed that it was people of all different colors out there. It wasn't just like our people.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That lets you know that your work, it resonates beyond just us, though. Yeah,
it supersedes those racial boundaries that was created to keep us divided. Like, oh man, love is so strong and powerful that it supersedes color. it supersedes religion. Like love is a universal language that
100%.
people can't. I don't care where you from or what language you speak. You can interpret love from a person, whether it's just something as simple as them greeting you and showing you respect. And so that's the messaging that we stand on, bro. And that day, it was so powerful for the city of Cleveland to see us show up in that way downtown Cleveland in front of the Justice Center. We went out there protesting like and marching, but no, we giving out flowers. We got toys. We got hot food. We got water on one of the hottest days of the year. We got the ice cream truck with us. DJ, like it was lit. Yeah. It was a vibe, man. Yeah, anything to just lift the morale in that space. And what I learned after the fact was the amount of police presence around downtown to keep people from seeing us and from getting to us. They had all of the traffic blocked off.
Well, during the Juneteenth event?
During the Juneteenth event. And I didn't find out about this until after the fact. The bridge going over there by Progressive Field, Jacobs Field, they had all that blocked off. And I'm thinking, and I didn't find out about this till after the fact. When people were leaving, they telling me like, yeah, man, my wife was like, I circled around downtown while y'all was out moving around, and I saw how much of a police presence it was. And it was like anything to prevent people from being inspired, bro.
Play Bar and Grill. Well, first of all, just for context purposes, Play Bar and Grill, they labeled it a mass shooting outside of the bar. Well, it wasn't outside of the bar. It actually was across the street at Margaritaville, correct?
Yeah.
But you were in those meetings with D. Hill, the owners of Play Bar and Grill. What was your reaction to that once the bar got shut down?
Yeah, and what's crazy is I think this is the first time I'm saying this publicly too. One of my kids from my program at the detention center was involved in that shooting downtown in the flats. And so that was a crazy situation. And he is being charged as like basically a mass shooter for that situation because of the amount of people that were out there. And again, it's just like politics, right? Having a black business and a slew of white infrastructure and sticking out like a sore thumb, you're going to get targeted. And to me, it was just them doing what they always do when black people are pursuing ownership and we're trying to designate safe spaces for our people. And again, it's about commerce downtown. And that's the easy way out, is to say downtown is now back safe because we got rid of this one black business owner down there. This one black business was responsible for bringing all this drama and chaos down here, and we got rid of them. That's how they tried to propose these fake solutions. Rather than addressing a lot of the root causes, they scapegoat black business owners, or black community leaders, or black organizations, or that's their way of going about fixing that. And to me, it was unfair. And I also heard recently that the judge dismissed their lawsuit against the city of Cleveland. Yeah, they filed a lawsuit against the city of Cleveland, and the judge dismissed it, which is crazy.
Like I said, you were in those meetings. Well, was that like council meetings?
Yeah, City Hall, Cleveland City Hall.
Okay.
And the brother got up and articulated himself in a very powerful way. And I'll say this, the lack of organization in the black community, right? Because we all aren't on the same page. We're
gotta hold us accountable.
Connected. It should have been as many people show up to that club on a Friday,
Saturday
people,
night. I was about to say it should have been as many
there.
people in. Yep, 100%.
I've seen members of the Palestinian community go down to City Hall, and I mean everybody there. They pack out the whole entire room for 19 weeks straight and press their issue until they get heard and until transformation happens and is documented in laws and legislation. Like, we don't do that in our neighborhoods. Now, if we take that approach and we showing up as a collective, we can get 150 people.
Yeah, because it's strength in numbers.
Come on. Yeah, that part.
So
politicians are focused on numbers because of elections.
Yeah, 100%. In those meetings that you can remember, what were some things that were being done or said that maybe the public may not know about? Yeah, I just remember,
bro, speaking to the fact that with the nuisance laws and with the way that they applied that to that business, it was like a strategy that they had already preemptively implemented. Like, they knew exactly what they was going to do. They just was waiting for the right moment to then strike. And bro going down there and saying that to me was so powerful, because a lot of times folks suffer in silence. And again, like, just, I think that from an organizing perspective, that was a keen opportunity for these business owners, these entrepreneurs, to then tie into these grassroots movements so that we all can come together on one accord. I think had that happened, it would have possibly been a different outcome for sure. That's working together.
Once everything happened, with the shooting outside of the bar, were you involved, like, with getting them lawyers at all, or like support, or?
No, not at all. And I actually had reached out when I was down there one time at City Hall. I went up to bro and I reached out to him. And I spoke to somebody else, one of the other owners as well. And we were supposed to schedule a meeting to sit down and see how we could support, but it didn't really go anywhere from that conversation for real.
Yeah.
And I understand because there's a lot going on right, in that moment. And so it's like, it's hard to sit down in these different spaces and come up with an intentional strategy when you already feel like you got a game plan.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're being wrong. And you feel like it's a no-brainer that these people are doing something wrong to you. And you think that the justice system is going to then work right on your side when it comes to that. But these people eat lunch together. Like, their kids go to the same schools. They at the same part of the same golf club. Like,
and then not only that, this incident, this is just a one-off for you, but this is what they do every day.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basheer Jones.
Yeah.
He was at the Juneteenth event.
Yeah.
Downtown. How long have you known Basheer Jones for?
Man, I'd say since like 2017, 2018. My brother, at one point, a mentor to me. Yeah, definitely close for sure.
Obviously he had some legal things going on.
Yeah.
Last year. Was that last year or 2024?
2024.
Okay.
I think it started in 2022, but he ended up getting, I think he turned himself in 2025.
Okay.
Got sentenced in 2025.
We won't go into details about his legal situation. What was your reaction to his initial charges, and then what was your reaction to him ultimately going to prison?
Yeah, I think that it's two parts to this. I think that systems set black leaders up for failure. They give you enough rope to hang yourself, and they're always waiting and watching for opportunity to disprove who you say you are. And a lot of times our leaders fall into that because there's this obligation to not only take care of yourself and your family, but all the people that's following you. Mm-hmm. And that's a heavy burden to carry, right? Financial responsibility for somebody else and their entire family. And then your perspective shifts to, I need to take in as much money and resources as I can to ensure that I'm not only taking care of myself, but everything else. That's a heavy burden to bear as a leader. That's why for me, it's important to put people in position to then generate revenue that's sustainable enough for themselves, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to I'm providing it for you. I put you in position to provide it for yourself. And yeah, it was just disheartening, man. The fall of a black leader specifically, especially in a city like Cleveland. I mean, everybody drew hope and inspiration from Basheer. I don't care who you is, what path of life that you was walking, whether you was in the streets, whether you was Muslim, whether you indulged in politics, like everybody. And he just had a certain level of charisma in a room, like where you just connect with it. However, large picture though, when we look at the way that funds are being misappropriated and communities that have historically been neglected and denied resources is wrong, right? Because we don't have to get into the specifics, but if X amount of dollars is going to this person, that person is supposed to disseminate that in the community, and it don't leave that person's pockets and touch the community, all them people being impacted by that, whether it was to buy book bags or clothes or haircuts or school supplies or whatever the case was. Those kids didn't get that. Those parents didn't get that resource that was meant for them. Yeah. And so I'm able to put a lot of my personal feelings or perspectives aside about a person and look at the entire situation, and then also focus my energy and intentions on who I should, which is the people that were impacted, regardless of how I feel about this person. And so for me, my thing is always like the community, man. Like we always getting the short stick, the short end of the stick. We always getting the least amount of the resources, and it's directly reflected because of our leadership. Yeah. Every time. And then people will be like, hey, free such and such. It's like, hold on, such and such ain't eat last night because of such and such. You know what I'm saying? So should we really be saying free, bro?
Right.
When this whole neighborhood been impacted by that, schools closing, people losing their homes, like how many people could have been impacted in a positive way by them funds, right?
Yeah.
And that's the part for me where it'd be like, man, come on now.
Have you talked to him since he been down?
I have not. And to be completely honest, like my situation with the gas station, he was a part of that, right? I sat down and met with them gas station owners through Basheer. He orchestrated that meeting with these gas station owners. This was the day before I got picked up. And in that meeting, man, like I lost a lot of respect for bro. I'm gonna be 100% honest. And I don't think I've ever shared this on.
You lost a lot of respect for Basheer.
Yeah, because in that meeting with myself and these two gas station owners, facilitated by Basheer, he just wanted me to stand down. Like it was like almost like a big bro move. Like, hey, listen, I get what happened, right? I understand how you feel, but I'm asking you for me to do me this favor. Stand down, bro. Don't push this issue. But for me, it was like, hold on, bro. You know me. You know how much I believe in our mission and what we're here to do. Like I'm not standing down, bro. Respectfully.
Why do you think that was his position on the situation?
Relationships, man. Relationships is it's like it's not what you know. You can know the truth, but then you could be connected or a relationship that opportunity you may have will supersede that, right? Supersede the truth. And for me, it's like the truth is, I don't care about what else is attached to that. If I don't make $1 off of it, the truth is the truth. I'm gonna do the right thing. But for some people, it's all about self-preservation.
I mean, wouldn't you say that that's kind of reflective on his charges that he went down for?
Absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. And as I reflect back on the nature of our relationship, that has always been the energy. That's always been the advice that was given to me, was to take that certain level of perspective. And for me, it was like I understood this entire time that it's bigger than me, which is why I'm willing to sacrifice time away from my family, resources from my family to then turn around and give that to my people. A lot of stuff we give out in the neighborhoods, I need that shit too. Tissue, bleach, like cleaning wipes, like produce, like we're giving away these things because I need them as well. That's why the impact is what it is, because I'm not discarding things that I wouldn't even use myself. I built a relationship because we need the resource, and I know my people need it. So I'm going to give you the same thing that I'm giving myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's like, but when people take this position of, I'm here, I'm the leader, I disseminate the resources and it trickle down, that's too much power. Especially for somebody that's not fully committed to doing things the righteous way. Yeah. That's too much power for somebody that is, like, you not.
What Kanye say, no one man should have all that power,
man.
100%.
Build your team.
You are, being that you are chairman of New Era Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
You know, you've had a tumultuous relationship with law enforcement. The Basheer Jones situation, though, you were affiliated with him. Yeah. Do you worry about other organizations supporting you in any way?
Because
you know how that can look.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We have built up our organization and our community partners, like, literally through trials and tribulations. Like, all of the current relationships I have right now, like, we have been tested, right? And so they mean that much more to me, because not only are they business and organizational relationships, but, like, you supported us when we was going through trial, or you ensured that we had certain resources when everybody else was like, they hot right now, I'm not touching them. And so our relationships that we have now are with our community partners and with, like, institutions.
It kind of withstood the test of time.
Man, what? Because if we can make it through that, it ain't nothing that nobody can come here to do to then be divisive, right? Because now our relationships are really formed through what we've been through, what we experienced together. And I'll take that over anything superficial or anything transactional, which is, again, at the end of the day, in the nonprofit world, a lot of these relationships are transactionals. It's built off what's a good look. What's a good look for our brand? What's a good look for our institution? But, you know, for the people that stood with us, when it wasn't the popular opinion, when it wasn't like the glitzy or glamorous thing to do, like, no, we got a different level of understanding.
So when you sit down in meetings with these different companies and organizations, is that your selling point? Yeah. Like, you know, we can still do business because my partners that I do business with now, they've been with me through these different struggles.
Absolutely. And too, just people having a certain understanding or perspective of our commitment to the work. Because now anybody that comes to the table and they do their research and they see like the different things that we've been through, they like, no, they serious.
Right.
They serious because most people in that situation would have been like, hey, I'm out of this. If this would come with it, I don't want it. Y'all can have it. If y'all gonna keep coming after me, I don't want nothing to do with this. Let me get my couple of dollars and get out the way, or let me just fade to black, or let me move. But that was never even a conversation for us. So yeah, when people can't question your intentions, they gotta handle you a certain way.
What about city officials? Do you worry about, because if you want to do things within the city, you need the backing of
everything
the city.
is political.
Yeah. So do you worry about how they view the relationship with the police and the Basheer Jones situation?
I think that the space we're in right now, and I'm grateful for this. I've had many tough conversations over the past year with some city officials who I clash with publicly and privately. To now we have an open line of communication.
Okay.
There's a thorough understanding of the work, and I think, I'm gonna be honest too, and this wasn't the intentions behind that, but what we went through, we won a lot of people over. A lot of people was like, really, whether it was doing publicly, a lot of people was really rooting for us.
Yeah.
A lot of people sent money to our legal funds, like to take care of the retainer for our attorneys. A lot of people sent money from the city officials too, sent money to our organization. Here go $25 for this, or hey, what y'all need support wise for that, man. It made me feel great. Like people are believing in what we pushing, and that's the only reason why. Because if I don't believe in something, me personally, I'm not entertaining it.
Yeah, and then not only that, if I don't believe in something, how can I expect you to support me or believe in what I'm doing if I'm showing a lackadaisical approach or whatever the case is? Yeah. What is your relationship right now with the city of Cleveland with police?
With the police, I'm gonna say this: we actually got and where we're located right now on the southeast side of Cleveland, we're in the 4th district. There's a new commander. He's from the neighborhood. He's a black man. I feel how I feel towards the police, irregardless of who's in that position. But now I'm open to having a rapport to where we're not adversaries, right? Because I'm not taking the position of going to war with the police. That's not what I'm here to do. Like, I'm not focusing my time or energy protesting the police. Like, no, I'm about creating systems, right, to then create alternatives for our people. So instead of saying, go to war with the police, like, no, we're going to create an alternative over here so we ain't got to call the police no more. Now we have our own community response team. We have our own group of people that's showing up to keep conflict down or to settle disputes. And so we don't got to call them people no more. We ain't got to see them in our neighborhoods no more. And two, they already know, like, from a certain time frame, New York, Cleveland outside. We don't even see the police while we moving through Buckeye no more. We don't even see the police drive down the street or try to antagonize us no more, because we've built up. We've done enough to kind of solidify ourselves where folks can't question our intentions.
Chairman Fahiem.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you coming in, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Keep doing the work, bro. Keep making a difference.
Yes, sir.
Keep touching the kids.
Yes, sir. Pause.
Type shit. Type shit. Yes, but no, I keep doing the work, man. You definitely are a vessel. Thank you. And New Era Cleveland, and you and all the work that you guys do. You guys are definitely a pillar in the community. I'm looking forward to seeing with you, ghetto therapy, positive energy,
yes,
the safety unit. I'm looking forward to see what you guys got coming up. And if there's anything I could be of service.
We booking you, bro. We outside.
Just get with me. You know what I'm saying? Chairman Fahiem.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
And I also would say, folks, to support us, we have a community center on Buckeye, 11713 Buckeye Road, the Love Project Community Clubhouse. Cash App, $ New Era Cleveland. We got kids in our programs. We feed them every day. Our meals are catered. We just got a Sprinter van. So
and that's a fact too, because I see you on Instagram. You guys do movie night.
Yes,
you guys did like some, I think it was like some like a paint and sip kind of thing you guys had did. Yeah. So you guys are definitely active in the community.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off.
Yes, Go ahead. No, you good, brother. Literacy, teaching our kids about the art of literacy through poetry, music, college exposure trips. just helping them develop like all the way through and through, like a lot of social emotional learning, a lot of trauma support. So get behind us, y'all. Support the work and get involved. Like if you don't have the monetary, then time is really what we encourage people to do. Spend time with the movement.
Shit, that's where we're gonna leave it at. DJ Ken Duff, Chairman Fahiem.
Yes, sir.
This is the Duff Effect.
New era.
Damn, what's this?
The Untouchables, baby.